Tom stands by the front door, jacket half-zipped, staring at the clock on the wall. Grandma is coming in 5 minutes. 5 minutes that, to Tom, feel like they might never end. And then, before Sarah can even reach him, the meltdown breaks. If you've watched your child fall apart over something as small as waiting 5 minutes, you know this feeling all too well. And you've probably wondered, quietly, more than once, why does this happen? Why can't they just wait like everyone else seems to? Here's what almost nobody tells parents, even well-meaning ones. This isn't defiance, and it isn't a tantrum for attention. For many autistic kids, waiting is genuinely one of the hardest things we ever ask their brain to do. Waiting feels simple to us. We do it 100 times a day without a second thought, barely even noticing. But for a brain like Tom's, just wait is not a small ask at all. It's a genuinely hard, real skill. Your child's brain experiences the word soon completely differently than yours does. Once you understand why that is, those hard waiting moments stop feeling like failure, yours or theirs, and start making real, honest sense. So today, let's slow down and walk through exactly what's happening inside your child's mind when they're asked to wait, and the simple, science-backed things that actually truly help. This is why waiting is so hard. The first reason is uncertainty. When you tell Tom to wait, his brain doesn't just hear, "not yet." It hears an open question with no clear answer. And for many autistic kids, that unknown feels genuinely, deeply unsafe. Research on autism consistently points to something psychologists call intolerance of uncertainty, a strong, built-in need to know exactly what's coming next. Without a clear answer, the brain quietly treats maybe like a small alarm bell going off. That's why just a few minutes can feel completely unbearable. It's not the waiting itself that's the problem. It's not knowing how long or exactly when it will end that makes Tom's whole body brace for it. Think about the last time your flight was delayed with no new time ever posted on the board. That itchy, anxious feeling creeping in, that's close to what waiting can feel like for Tom, almost all the time. So the goal here isn't to make Tom tough it out on his own. The goal is to shrink the uncertainty, to give his brain something solid and real to hold on to, instead of an open question. The second reason is harder to see from the outside. It's called inhibitory control, the brain's ability to hold back an urge. And in young autistic children, that particular skill is often still quietly developing. When Tom wants something, his brain doesn't just feel a mild preference like ours might. It feels an urgent, insistent pull. And the part of the brain that says, "hold on," is the part still under construction. That's not a character flaw, and it's certainly not spoiled. It's biology, plain and simple. Every child's ability to pause and wait develops gradually over years. And for autistic kids, that timeline often looks a little different. The good news? Inhibitory control is a learnable skill, not some fixed trait a child is simply born with. Like any skill, it strengthens with small, safe, repeated practice, never by forcing a child to just push through. So instead of asking Tom to just control himself and leaving it there, the real question becomes this: how do we help that part of his brain practice pausing in small, low-pressure moments again and again? The third reason comes down to time itself. Many autistic children process time quite differently. 5 minutes and 50 minutes can feel almost identical when there's no real way to see the difference between them. To an adult, 5 minutes is a familiar, steadily shrinking stretch of time we can feel passing. To Tom, without something visual to hold on to, it can feel like one unmarked, endless stretch with no clear beginning or end. And remember, Tom speaks only a little, mostly through his actions rather than words. When he can't ask how long and no one shows him clearly, That uncertainty has nowhere safe to go, so it comes out as a meltdown instead. Once you see it this way, the meltdown honestly isn't mysterious anymore. It's Tom's whole body trying desperately to say, I don't know how long this is. I don't know what happens next, and I need your help. So what actually helps here? The first tool is refreshingly simple. Make time visible. A good visual timer turns an invisible, abstract wait into something Tom can actually watch shrinking, second by second, right in front of him. Instead of vaguely saying, wait a few minutes, Sarah sets the dial and says, watch the red part. When it's gone, it's time. Now, Tom has something solid and concrete, something he can genuinely see and track himself. Watch closely what happens next. The fidgeting slowly eases. The repeated questions stop. Because Tom isn't guessing anymore at all. He's watching the answer unfold right in front of him, one small piece at a time. This works so well because it doesn't ask Tom to imagine time in his head. It simply shows him time. And a brain that struggles with when suddenly has something concrete to hold on to instead of a scary unknown. You don't need a fancy timer either to make this work. A phone countdown, a sand timer, even a simple hand-drawn clock face with a moving hand. Anything that turns soon into something Tom can actually see. Try pairing the timer with a countdown said out loud, too. 3 more minutes. 2, 1. Tom's brain now gets 2 matching signals instead of one vague promise, and that small combination builds real, lasting trust. Over time, something quietly beautiful starts to happen. Tom begins checking the timer entirely on his own. He starts trusting that wait actually has a real, definite end. That trust is the true goal here, not just the tool. The second tool is patient practice, but not the kind that feels like pressure or a test. Think of it like gentle exercise for the waiting muscle. Small, safe reps built up slowly and steadily over time. Sarah starts small, almost absurdly small. A 3-second wait before handing Tom his snack. Ready? Wait. Here you go. 3 seconds is nothing at all to us. To Tom's brain, it's a real, genuinely winnable challenge. And when Tom actually makes it those 3 whole seconds, big celebration every single time. A cheer, a high five, real visible joy on Sarah's face. Because his brain just proved something huge to itself. I can do this. Slowly, 3 seconds quietly becomes 5. 5 becomes 10, then more. It's the exact same skill Tom struggled with at the front door, just practiced first in a place with 0 pressure and complete, total safety. This matters far more than it sounds like on the surface. A child who has practiced winning small weights carries real proof stored deep in their body that waiting doesn't last forever and doesn't actually mean danger. Try turning it into an actual, honest-to-goodness game. Freeze until I say go. Who can wait the longest for the bubble to pop? Games naturally lower the stakes, and lower stakes is exactly where real learning happens. None of this fixes waiting overnight, and that's completely okay. But every tiny successful wait is a real deposit in the same account. The one quietly labeled, I can handle hard feelings and come out okay. The third tool is one of the simplest of all. Give the waiting something to hold on to. An empty wait is genuinely unbearable. A wait filled with something Tom truly loves is a completely different experience altogether. Tom loves drawing more than almost anything else, so instead of sitting empty-handed at the doctor's office, he waits with his sketchbook open, little dinosaurs slowly taking shape under his crayon while the minutes quietly pass by. This isn't just a distraction trick meant to avoid the feeling entirely. It's a genuine bridge. something familiar and safe for his mind to stand on while the uncertain, uncomfortable part of waiting slowly passes. Every child has their own version of Tom's sketchbook, whatever that might be for them. A favorite toy, a special topic they could happily talk about for hours. Find that bridge, and waiting quietly stops being empty space. And just as important as any of these tools, say the feeling out loud, gently. Waiting is hard, I know. Not to fix it right away, just so Tom hears that what he's feeling genuinely makes sense. That one single sentence does something quietly powerful. It tells Tom's nervous system, you're not broken for struggling with this. You are understood. And feeling understood is exactly where real calm actually starts to grow. Validation always comes first. Tools come second. In that order, every single time. A child who feels truly understood can actually use the timer, the countdown, the sketchbook. A child who feels dismissed simply can't hear any of it. Put it all together, visible time, small practiced waits, a comforting bridge, and honest validation. And waiting stops being a wall Tom hits head on. It slowly starts becoming a skill he's steadily, quietly building. A few months later, Tom stands by that very same front door, waiting for Grandma once again. His small hand rests calmly on the doorknob. His eyes flick briefly to the timer on the shelf. He's still there, still waiting. No meltdown this time. None at all. Just a small boy, quietly waiting, his sketchbook tucked under his arm. Just in case. It didn't happen overnight, not even close. But it happened because someone truly believed it could. Patience was never some fixed personality trait that Tom was simply missing from the start. It was a real skill nobody had shown him how to build yet. One visible timer, one small practiced wait at a time. And that's true for every single child who quietly struggles with waiting, in ways big or small. The skill is genuinely learnable. The brain is fully capable. It just needs the right kind of support, offered with patience of its own. So here's the truly hopeful part. Waiting will likely always take a little more effort for a brain wired like Tom's. And that's all right. But hard does not mean impossible. And every single small win genuinely, truly counts. 3 simple things to remember, starting today. 1, make time visible with timers and honest countdowns. 2, practice tiny waits often and celebrate every single win like it matters. Because it does. 3, always validate the feeling before offering any tool. If today helped you understand your child even a little bit better, that's genuinely what we're here for. Real science, real compassion, no shame, ever, in any of it. Just tools that actually, truly work for families, exactly like yours. Subscribe for more evidence-based videos on autism and parenting, delivered every single week without fail. Your child is doing so much better than you probably think. And so, quietly, patiently, steadily, are you.